Our next presenter, Hao. And there's also plenty of food left in the back if anybody wants an extra bite.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. Okay, today I want to present my analysis on the information security behavior of supply chain professionals. So why does this matter? In 2022, Sonatai, a supply chain software company, they revealed in their research that there is over 630% of cybersecurity in supply chain. 74% of the attack in the supply chains come from the human errors. And according to National Institute of Standard and Technologies, supply chains cannot be viewed, cybersecurity in supply chain cannot be viewed as an IT problem, but it is about people, a process, and a knowledge problem. When I do some research about how people are, how supply chain professionals performing in their security behavior, we identify that there is a limited number of paper in supply chain and logistics adopting quantitative research. Human, intentionally or by mistake, they are the greatest source of errors. And to improve the information security is really important in training the people how to raising their awareness according to how to behave with the information security practice. So with that being said, my research gonna analyze how well supply chain professionals are performing in security behaviors, and also make some recommendations on how to improve them. So we collected data through a survey during the summer 2022, and the survey includes 77 questions from in which 16 questions from service and 11 questions from HP warehouses. Why do we choose the service and HP questions? Because they include a sector that we can measure how the supply chain professionals are behaving in terms of device securement, proactive awareness, updating, password generation, email use, social media use, and incident reporting. So the data were created based on the questionnaire of 5 scale Likert questions, and we collected around exactly 763 data that can be used for the analysis, and we figured out that data include the people from different industry, but we figured out 160 data come from the people working in supply chain industry. So the subsample that we're using here is 167. Here's the data that we collected, the summary of the data that we collected. So, as mentioned before, that our data is based on the Likert scale. So there's a controversy concerning to the Likert scale data when we analyze them, because should we treat this as continuous data or ordinal data? And to sidestep from the controversy, we apply the information theory. A little bit about the information theories is a mathematical discipline to quantify the the amount of information introduced by Shannon in 1948, and is allow us to discover the pattern of the data, the relationship, and the dependency of the data. Okay, and here is the histogram that we are draw on based on the data that we collected. And we can see that the data is not follow a normal distribution. So that's the reason why, another reason why we apply the information data, information theory instead of the other theories to analyze the data. So when applying the information theory for analyzing the data, first of all, we want to assess how the professional, how supply chain professionals are behaving in their information security practice. And we use entropy values. What the entropy values? Mathematically, entropy is the probability. Entropy is the probability distribution of the outcomes. And the entropy value will gonna tell us how uncertainty of the data set. It means a high value of entropy will tell us that the data have a high level of inconsistency and vice versa. So in this data set, we find an average of entropy value is 2.14, which is considerably high. This indicates that there is a high inconsistency in the behavior of people working in supply chain fields regarding to their information security behaviors. Okay. The tables that summarize the eighth column is the entropy value for each fraction. And you can see the median and mean and the standard deviation for equations. So after assessing which behavior are posing the threats to the cybersecurity and supply chain, we analyze what kind of behavior have a strong relationship with each other. So how do we measure it? We use the term called mutual information. Mutual information tells us about how much information that one variable can tell about another variable. And when we calculated the mutual information for the data, I mean the mutual information for the data between the questions together, we found out that there's a strong relationship. There's a pair of the behavior that have a stronger mutual information than the other ones. For example, like behavior number 8 and number 9. Behavior number 8 is telling about a people that do not include a special character when they generating the password. So that's behavior gonna have a strong relationship with the behavior of number 9. That person gonna open the link without verifying where the link go to. Interesting. So by applying the mutual information, we can find out that the pairs of behavior that have a strong relationship or correlation with each other. Additionally, okay, here's the table to summarize them. And additionally, we also collected, we also have another 11 different questions about the demographic information. And why do we do this? Because we want to measure how the behavior are interacting with the demographic information. And when we calculated the mutual information between them, we also find out that there is some kind of demographic that's have a strong relationship with the question that rather than the other ones. For example, like here's the table that I have calculated. And then you can see from the table, employment type is the demographic that have races relationship with the questions, with the behavior than the other ones. Employment type including part-time, full-time, or self-employed. Level of comfort when using the computers, or age and level of education, also the element that have a great impact on the behavior. Okay, and the last tool that we use for this analysis is, after we defining which kind of behavior that posing threat to the supply chain, what kind of behavior having the strong relationship with each other, and what kind of behavior have a strong relationship with the demographic information. We want to find out, we want to visualize how it happened. So here the challenge gonna visualize the behavior that have a important impact on the other one. So the challenge is gonna start with the root node, as you can see here on the left, on your left side. The root node gonna start with the pair of the behavior that have a highest mutual information. So on your right side, I also add another graph that come from the data come from the poll worker data. So why do I have to do this? Because I want to compare the difference between those groups to see whether supply chain professional, they are similar to other groups or they are just different. And then you can see from the table, they are different. Like the root node of the supply chain professional is start with the Q2, but for the poll worker, they start with the F15. Their behavior come from different groups. So in this case, supply chain professional, their behavior in device securement and password generation have a strong relationship better than with the updating activities. While with the poll workers, they seem to have a like different things. They have a proactive awareness behaviors, have a strong relationship with the updating rather than with the password generation. Okay, so what does this analysis research tell us? The high there is a high considerable uncertainty in the information security practice of supply chain professionals. Is it reflected through the high value of entropies and the occasional frequency? Furthermore, we can see through the mutual information value, the strong connection between the employment type and is strongest with the behavior rather than the other one, especially with the proactive awareness and incident reporting. In addition to that, employment type, we also have level of comfort, age, and level of education going to have a great impact on the information security behaviors. So with that being said, when the company have a limited resource that they can contribute to the training program, they can choose the activity or the behavior that have a strong impact on the system. First, so when I show you the child tree, there is an activity, there is a behavior that they have a strong impact than the other one. So instead of focusing on the bottom of the tree, we can focus on the behavior on top of the tree because that behavior can bring back more efficiency than the other ones. So when it comes to conclusion, one more thing I just want to repeat, but you already have heard it, that there is inconsistency in the information security behavior of supply chain professional. we here are on people working in supply chain. Maybe we can go home and check if we are doing it well or not, something like that. But really, we are really different. There is an inconsistency in our behavior. The high mutual information between the questions and the high mutual information between the questions and the demographic information is really important to find out, because you know, that's in a company, we have a people from different background, and the training program needs to be tailored to different group of people. It's gonna bring back more efficiency than we apply the same program for other people, because you know, like supply chain professional, they are affected by the level of comfort of using computer. They are affected by their age, and they are affected by their level of education. But for example, like the poor worker, they are not affected by the factor. Or for the people in healthcare or information or educational, they don't affected by the factor. I have another paper on that, but in this paper, I just get up, and here's my reference, and the reference, and my acknowledgement. Dr. Scala, you are not just only my advisor, but you are also my mentor, great mentor, to be honest. And working with you during the summer until this semester, I don't know that I'm exaggerating it, but I'm sure I'm not, because I think that it is something that can change my path here in America. Oh. Yeah, it's really a long journey. And Dr. Charles Dellinger, I know that you are in Zoom, but you cannot see me, but you can see me? Yeah, okay. Thank you for your review on the challenge, on the way that you make me to go through the story that when I don't know where to start, and your review on my paper as well. And the final people, yeah, he's not here, but he my business partner in my home country. So thank you for taking care of the business, but I can totally focus on my degree here. And thank you to all of you for your listening to my presentation today. I know my English, but thank you.
I just want to say, Josh texted me during this, and he's like, Hao is standing here in front of the group, speaking with no notes and confidence. It took me so many years to have that confidence. It's not even her native language, so there's nothing wrong with your English. So yeah. But any questions or comments for Hao today?
Yes,
Lauren. My name is Lauren.
Yeah.
And so funny enough, my background is in healthcare, and when I think about like cybersecurity and making sure you're clicking a safe link, I think of HIPAA, which is the really big law that says be very careful with patient information or you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And as a result of that law, like every healthcare professional gets so much training before they even go into the field. And I was wondering, like, how much training, if you know, like, does the average person in supply chain get for cybersecurity, making sure you're clicking a safe link, those kinds of things?
Yeah. So basically, as I mentioned that I also have another paper that we analyze the people from different industries. And as far as I can remember, healthcare workers, they have the lower entropy value than the supply chain professional. And even though it's lower than the people working in information technology, we always imagine that the people working in information technology, that they have a great skill and a great knowledge on how to protect the data, but they're not. The entropy, yeah, it's not. It's really interesting. So yeah. Yeah.